That's us coming into Strangford now. And I'll take you down and show you the little ferry terminal here. I would normally go across to the other side, and then I've only 7 miles to home, but not today. That's the little ramp there for the ferry, but I'll not wait on it. I'll go up here and turn. That's the little village across the way there for the ferry. So as you can see the ferry over on the far side. But we'll drive around, have to go around the long way today up through the major town of Newtown Ards, or Newton Ards we call it. Game of Thrones fans out there, this is where Winterfell Castle and a lot of the filming for the first and second series was all filmed in this private estate to the right, Castle Ward Estate. Winterfell Castle was set up in the old ruins of the castle. Quite a lot of scenes were filmed on the land, on the estate. Local hotel in Strangford we just passed there, queuing. So many of the stars stayed in there. They've named the rooms after all their different house names. So you can stay in the Stark room or the Baratheon room, or this is claim to fame here. This was used quite a lot here for Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones devotees will probably recognise this landing base as used in Game of Thrones. We'll show you, there's a board here that tells you all about it. Game of Thrones River Run, where Ned Stark's wife, her father, was floated out on a boat and they had to fire arrows at it. Well, her nephew tried it but failed, and her brother took over and did it successfully. So this is what was used. That's looking down to where the wee boat sailed down to. They eventually hit it with an arrow. There you go, that's the coil. As I say, this estate, Castle Ward Estate, was also used for a lot of other scenes. There's a fortified square townhouse was also used as Robb Stark's camp. The square tower house was in the background.
this area, so especially, I say, started in the Castle Ward estate because the film Series 1, they didn't actually know whether it was going to take off or not, and they hadn't even got funded, I don't think, for a Series 2 or a 3. So it was already done on the cheap in Castle Ward in Series 1, and then whenever it became so popular, HBO decided to increase the money. Then they started looking further afield for more exotic locations, but it did prove a massive success. So it is, and there are Game of Thrones tours you can go on here, especially organised coach tours, and the foreigners just love it. They just love it. But it's all over Northern Ireland. Right up the north coast, you saw some. The upper end, Bainvina, the big headland, and up around the back of Larn, Carn Castle, and of course the Dark Hedges and Glen Cushendun. So there's locations everywhere. And then the Titanic Studios in Belfast, which was the old painting hall, one of the largest buildings in the shipyard, used to paint massive sections of ships. Because shipbuilding then was redundant, they turned it into one of the biggest sound stages. So the whole internal scenes of the Red Keep were all filmed at the Carl Wolf Paint Shop Studios. And in fact, the final battle scene, the destruction of King's Landing, was all staged in Harland Wolff Shipyard. A whole massive wooden temporary city was built, and it stayed there for many months, and it was used and destroyed, the whole battle scene. And then there was another big location in Banbridge for the final destruction of Winterfell, the massive scene with the Night King. It's all filmed down in Banbridge area, but again they've removed all of those, which is a shame. They should have left some of it for tourism, but as I say, they were only ever temporary structures made out of wood and plasterboard. So that's our claim to fame. And this is the Coyle Basin we're on now. It's still part of Strangford Lough, only it's the more inland reaches of it. We'll not really see Strangford Lough much more until we get up to a place called White Rock. So we'll head up that direction now. Killilay, I'll take you around Killilay. But we're following the coast. That's the important thing.
And this is the next site we see of Strangford Lough. This is Killilay, and that little spit of land over there is the Castle Ward estate, where, as I say, Winterfell and Game of Thrones, a lot of Game of Thrones was filmed. That little white town over there is Portaferry, the other end where the wee ferry terminal goes to, and that whole bit up there is the far side of the Ards Peninsula. That's where I live, so as I say, I have to head away up to Newton Ards, right at the very top of the loch, to come back down that peninsula.
Well, that was the little lochside resort of Killilay. So we'll head back out onto the main road and turn up towards Calinchi, a little place called Calinchi, and I'll take it down. There's another piece of the loch you can see along there. So our next little glimpse of Strangford Lough is here at White Rock, a little coastal community, the sailing club. Dodgy wee roads. was a clubhouse there, it is there, for the yacht club. South again down the peninsula, the Arch Peninsula. This is us coming into the historic little market town of Newton Arch, the place that I was brought up as a child. That's where I'm from, although I live down the coast now. Dating from 1650, I think 1654. One of the oldest in Ireland. This is us at the very head of Strangford Lough now. We're turning south now to head down the far side of the peninsula that I live on, and we'll turn in Portaferry and come back up the other side to do the complete loop. There we go, that's us heading down the west side of the Arch Peninsula. We just come up that far shore from Kilmalay, Strangford direction. So we're going to follow this road the whole way to Portaferry. About 20 miles. That's the famous Mount Sheard House and Gardens in there to the left, National Trust property. Our biggest tourist attractions. Just coming into the sleepy little village of Grey Abbey. again, where I said earlier, Game of Thrones, quite a lot was filmed over there. We're now at the narrowest section of the loch, where the tide comes in and out fiercely. So we're on the Land of Portaferry side. If I had taken a little ferry, it would have brought me into this next little town here, Portaferry. World War II Liberty ship lying out there in pieces. It hit rocks on the Irish Sea side of the loch here and came in here for shelter and was scrapped. So it was such a bad state. So the local diving group uses it now as a training dive site. Car and driver. This is Portaferry. This is where the narrow Strangford Loch meets the Irish Sea, just there. We're going left up the other side of this peninsula. This is the very bottom of this peninsula. So we're going left then up north again towards where I live. It's only about 5 miles away. But that's the Irish Sea now. That's our next glimpse of the Irish Sea coast, Millen Bay. More farmers growing polythene again. Of scene where Jamie Lannister come for, oh I don't know what's his name. Jamie Lannister came for some of Blackwater to help him go to Dorne. Bran of the Black Watch or something. What's his name? I can't remember his name. But anyway. Jerome Flynn, the part that played by Jerome Flynn, I can't remember his name. But anyway, that's where he came to him and made him an offer of a new wife and a bigger castle. Of course he took it. Well, that was filmed there. That's his only claim to fame, really. It's a modern day representation of an old castle, but on an old site. There was an old castle there, and somebody just made a modern day folly of it. Better view. That's just where we've come from there. It's the REC. And there's the old Kilwarlen lighthouse there, disused. And over the coast then towards Portahogue, and that's where I live there, just that wee town on the coast. That's where we're headed. That's coming into the very old little village of Cloughy. These original houses here, original fishermen's houses. This used to be all wee boats along the beach here hundreds of years ago, but they've all moved around now to the more modern end of Cloughy. A lot of these have been turned into summer houses. There's two old ones up in there to the left. Very old fishermen's cottages. friends. It's my hometown, right ahead. Slightly over 1,800 miles in 2 weeks. I left in one direction, I'm coming back in the opposite direction, having followed the Irish coast as close as I possibly could. The ultimate drive. Anybody that tells you the North Coast 500 of Scotland is a good drive, you have my permission to laugh in their face, because it's only a weekend scoot around a few hills and laneways. It is not the ultimate drive. The ultimate drive is the coast of Ireland. That's the challenge, or at least the Wild Atlantic way, but certainly the North Coast 500 couldn't hold a candle to the Irish coast. The old truck did really, really well. I'm really, really proud of her. I really am. Well, certainly there's a few more rattles and knocks about her now, but she's driving perfectly, and the only blip on the horizon was that little fuel solenoid, which I should have had a spare with me. I know, because they do fail notoriously. I will certainly know next time to pick a spare one with me. In fact, I should have maybe put a new one in before I left. She hasn't used any more oil since the half a litre I put in her in Donegal, and that's amazing. Absolutely, I checked this morning and that's amazing. She hasn't used a drop of water. I haven't topped her up at all. As for the gearbox and the transfer box, certainly you have the odd drip in the mornings, but no big floods. I haven't checked them. I won't check them until the next few days, and I just expect to top them up. I don't expect them to be empty by no means. I think I would have heard if she'd run out of oil in any of the boxes. Clutch is good. Brakes are still not right. I think there's maybe still a bit of air in them. I replaced everything in the brakes, cylinders, pipes, shoes, everything, and I don't think I've bled all the air out properly. They are notoriously hard to bleed. She's twin leading shoes on the front, and one of the pistons, the operating pistons, is at the bottom of the brake drum, and it's notoriously hard to get the air out of them. So I have a sneaky suspicion there's air trapped in there somewhere, and with a few good days of brake bleeding, I think I might be able to resolve it. But apart from that, the brakes were good, yeah, handbrake was good, everything was good. So I'm really proud. This is my home town, as I say. Most of the fishing fleet's out today for a change. Driving an old Land Rover with stiff springs, you really have to take it easy. I have airbags as well fitted on the back of this. They are airbags, Continental airbags, spring assisters. If I didn't have them, the ambulances have a tend to sag a little bit in the rear. So I sent away and I got a couple of airbags. I don't have them adjustable, I just have them blown up to about 2 bar. I think you can put different pressures in them, but I just blew them up enough to stop her back end from sagging. And it lifts her up nicely. She looks much better side on view. Raised up 2 or 3 inches. I can highly recommend them for anybody wanting to fit them. I just got them off eBay. I think they were for a Ford Bronco truck or something, and I just got the fittings and the airlines. I had to make up brackets, mind you, to fit on the leaf spring and to fit on the chassis, but they work superbly well. And if anything is a bold test, it's that drive. around the coast. They certainly have stood the test, and they haven't deflated at all. They're still working perfectly. So I can highly recommend that. If you're any ambulance, even if you keep the military spec, they still have a tendency to sag a bit. Put in the airbags. Well, this is my little road now. I've come out of that wheel road and turned left. I'm now coming back and I'm turning left back into the gate. That is one complete circumnavigation of Ireland. There we go.